Kansas native, was highly recruited coming out of high school. The number 26 overall prospect in the country, was a two-time All-Stater over in the state of Kansas. Facing off against a team that you got to think probably heavily recruited her out of high school, as the first pitch is low for ball one. Leading it off for the Kansas Jayhawks is left fielder Presley Limbaugh. Our officials for today, or umpires for today, are home plate Jason Smith. At first base, it's Sergio Villarreal, and at third, it's Joe Havenhill. That pitch is on the outside for a strike called by Smith. Limbaugh entering the year really solid so far, hitting .418 with a .508 on base percentage. No home runs though. A slap hitter. That one is low for ball number 2.
She was the only freshman last year to actually play in 50 games, and of those 50, started 48. So you're getting a lot of veteran experience in such a young player, and that does a lot for a lineup.
Well, with the weather how it is today, with the wind howling in, a slap hitter is going to benefit greatly by keeping that ball low, as that's on the lower half of the plate for strike number 2. Cope not working too quickly, taking her time here on the plate as that pitch clock runs down, but Limbaugh, a very speedy hitter as well. She steps up. That's low for ball 3, so the count goes full.
And currently right now, Cope trying to work to that outside part of the plate, hoping to get Limbaugh to chase, but so far seeing it pretty well.
To the payoff pitch here. Freshman to sophomore, Cope, and that's fouled away from Limbaugh. It's always interesting to see slap hitters. I mean, it's one of those things where not every team has them, but there's such an effective way of hitting and really getting a base runner on, as they take those first couple steps in the box to get ahead of that ball coming through.
And it's based off of a lot of wrist movement too, right? You want to get that bounce action on the ball the second it hits the dirt.
Pitch for Limbaugh, swung on, bouncing high, and it is a foul ball retrieved by Ava Bredwell, so they'll go full again. Limbaugh, like you said, 50 games last year, hit .264 with a .308 on base percentage. Still looking for her first career home run. I mean, you typically don't see that out of the style of which she hits, and it's definitely not a good day to get one of those, as this wind is crazy. We're going to keep talking about it all day as Cope deals, and that's a ground ball over to Sydney Gray, and she gets it on over to Bella Bacon for the first out.
Yeah, quick hopper over to Gray, one of the most solid third basemen to ever play here at Nebraska. But a tough part, like you mentioned, for a slapper is going up against such a solid defensive infield that the Huskers have.
It's a defensive infield with a ton of experience, especially between that tandem of Billy Andrews and Sydney Gray. Cope deals. Outside ball 1 to Ainsley Linduff, sophomore outfielder from Oklahoma City. This is a Kansas Jayhawks team that doesn't hit for a ton of average, but they've been effective enough to score with their great pitching behind them, as Cope can hit that outside part of the plate again. So 2-0 is our count.
Well, Matt, the main style of their play is just get the runners on and let everything work through there.
Absolutely.
Even if you're getting ground outs in the infield, it's all about advancing the runners. It is a simple style of play.
Cope, wind-up delivery, ground ball right up the middle. And that's a base hit for Linduff, retrieved by Brooke Andrews and thrown in. A big hit for Linduff. She went 0 for 8 against Oklahoma over the weekend, like a lot of her teammates did. It was an incredibly tough series, but she gets the Jayhawks going here in the top of the first with 1 out.
I feel like for a lot of Big 12 teams, when they go up against Oklahoma, you almost have to put an asterisk because you get from freshmen to super seniors, everyone has some of the best experience in the entire country.
The windup in the lower part of the plate for another ball. And so now it's Lyric Moore, the catcher, up to bat. Not quite at that 300 mark yet for Moore. She can do that probably here with a hit, but having an incredibly solid season, 910 OPS, a couple of homers. Cope down 1-0. That'll be another ball, and now a timeout taken. Linduff does have 1 stolen base on the year. She kind of bluffed stealing a little bit earlier. Now that's a ground ball. Dive by Sydney Gray. Over to second. Gets that out, but not in time for first, as Sydney Gray makes an incredible play there for the second out.
Well, you see that a lot on the left side of the infield for the Big Red, but the important thing is getting that lead runner out at second. So everything cancels out and just an out added to the board for the Jayhawks.
Gray does an incredible job laying out. She's made both outs, and great heads-up play to get the lead runner. The pitch from Cope. It's another ball on the outside part of the plate. So Moore is on first, and that brings up the shortstop, Haley Kripe, 297 on the year, 3 home runs, and 23 RBIs. Cope, the windup, the deal, and that's in there for a strike.
Yeah, we'd seen Cope going a lot with fastballs, but decides to opt to go to the breaking ball option there. Mix it up for the hitter and froze her up.
Lyric Moore on first, the count 0-2 for Cope. Trying to get out of this one. Deals, and that's launched into left field. Samantha Bland in on it on the warning track and makes the out. And so in a day where we talked a lot about balls being knocked down, that one almost got out, but Samantha Bland, the freshman, makes an incredible play to get out of the inning. And so the Huskers have 1 hit, no errors, and get out, and they'll be up next, coming up here on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Work quickly. Wind up, pitch, swung on and hit into center field. That gets down, and so Brooke Andrews is the first base runner for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Such a solid swing, and the big thing is there was a lot of patience, right? She actually didn't jump on the ball too soon. Otherwise, it would have gone to left field. So she got the look she wanted, barreled it through, and got it right up through the hole of the middle infield. And you could even see the wind curve that ball toward right center.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And Sarah Rozak might have had a jump on it to begin, but just couldn't get there quick enough in time. So now it's the catcher, Ava Breadwell, up to bat. Hamilton the pitch. Outside for ball 1. This top of the lineup, full with average hitters.
And something we're seeing from both the pitchers, this is Hamilton alike with Cope, is just that aggressiveness on the outside of the plate. You're not seeing a lot of action go toward the inside of the batter.
Hamilton settles down, pitches. That's a high fly ball. Moving under it is Bagshaw, and she's actually able to grab it right from under the catcher, Lyric Moore, rather. And so that's the first out for the Cornhuskers.
It was not an easy out for the Jayhawks if that thing was moving in the air, and it's always tough as a catcher to get up with all that gear on, and Moore does a good job communicating with the other infielders, and they end up working together to get that out.
Yeah, it was a great out there, and tough. I mean, look, any fly ball today is going to be incredibly tough with the wind working the way that it is. So now it's Samantha Bland, who made an incredible catch and last inning over on the warning track up to bat. Bland, the freshman, 286, 4 home runs, and 24 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, looking to bounce back after going 0 for 5 with an RBI and a strikeout against Wisconsin last time on the 31st.
Hamilton having a tough time finding the strike zone. That one was in there for a ball, and that one will miss low for a ball as well. So the count goes favorable for Bland, 2-0.
This has to be some interesting weather for Bland coming from Chino Hills, California.
Yeah.
Definitely a change of pace in Lincoln.
1,000,000%. It's got to be interesting weather for both of these pitchers. I mean, trying to get your windup and your movement in conditions like these cannot be that easy, as that one's in there for a strike. Almost middle there. Bland lays off. Two and one the count. Brooke Andrews on first. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Hamilton, wind up, the pitch, swung on and hit by Bland, curling into right field. That one's going to hit off the wall. Andrews to third. Andrews will come home, play at the plate, bad throw, and now Bland will head over to third. That ball is bobbled, and so Samantha Bland gets to third base on what will probably be recorded as a double, as Brooke Andrews coming to score, and the Huskers jump on Casey Hamilton here in the first.
Well, if that goes down as a double, it's her 10th of the year. Excellent place. It actually almost got out, and that would be the one area where it could. And then it's just defensive errors left and right for the Jayhawks. And on a day where your defense can really control the pace, you can't be giving the Huskers extra bases like that. And with Sydney Gray up, it is not an easy task to take her down either.
Yeah, the right fielder was Ainsley Linduff on the play. She elected to throw. I don't know where she was throwing. If she was throwing to third, if she was throwing to the catcher, it kind of hit in between the two. And Casey Hamilton was tough backing up the play. She couldn't pick up the ball to make a play on Bland. And so we'll go to the scorecards here. They call it as a double and then a throwing error. So Bland gets to third, and up to bat is the veteran Sydney Gray for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Now I'll say this, Matt. We talked about the runs per game when you have the Andrews sisters going back-to-back. But when Breadwell, Bland, and Gray go 3, 4, 5, they're averaging 8.8 runs a game in the last 5 games.
That is always tough to face as Gray takes that first pitch on the outside part of the zone. Hamilton just unable to find it. She had a tough series against Oklahoma, 12 earned runs over 14 innings pitched. I mean, that's something that everyone around the country is going to run into. But she had at one point this year 21 straight innings without giving up a run. She's down 1-0 in the count. She misses there for another ball.
Well, she strikes out more batters than she walks. It's 75 strikeouts to 47 walks this year. So this is someone that knows how to get the job done. You just ran into a good Oklahoma team, but you could tell she knows where these Husker hitters are strong and just aiming for that outside.
That one is in there on the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. And look, this is a Nebraska Cornhusker team that is one of the top offenses in the country. And, you know, Hamilton definitely have to be careful consistently putting them in hitters' counts like she's done so far in this inning. But luckily for her, it's only cost her 1 run. That pitch is in there high and fouled off by Gray, so we'll go even at 2-2.
Well, I'll say this. 2 pitches ago, the strike that she placed inside that was a breaking ball, that's a huge confidence booster, right? You're throwing a tough pitch in a zone where a lot of Husker hitters can smash that ball. So credit to Hamilton for trusting her abilities and getting that ball perfectly placed.
Count even, 2-2. Bland on third. 2 outs. That's hit high. It's curling right. It might curl foul. Multiple Jayhawks in there, and it's caught on for the 3rd out of the inning. Believe they're on the play. I think that was Sarah Rozak, the second baseman, going all the way into foul territory to get that one. But the Huskers get 2 hits, 1 run, and lead the Jayhawks 1-0 here going into the top of the 2nd on Big Ten Plus. Emerson Cope worked around 1 hit and some control issues in the first, but allowed no runs, and now it'll be Campbell Bagshaw coming up to the plate. After her will be Olivia Bruno and Ashlyn Anderson. Cope, the freshman, winds up, pitches, misses that outside part of the plate, just barely.
A little part of the lineup strategy for Kansas is put your best hitter at top and put your second best hitter by average in the middle, and that's Campbell Bagshaw with a batting average of .315 this year.
One of 2 hitters in this Kansas lineup with over a .300 average as she swung on and hits that over to Sydney Gray, but it's foul, and so count goes 1-1. It'll be interesting to see here. I mean, this wind, I mean, has been incredible not only for just keeping balls out of play, but the directions in which the ball is heading. I mean, on that last out for the Cornhuskers, that ball started middle and ended up in foul territory, so maybe the strategy is keep it on the ground as Cope throws that low for a ball.
Well, if we're talking about keeping the ball on the ground, the Jayhawks are actually doing the Huskers a favor. They are swinging on top of a lot of the pitches thrown. So in a sense, you're almost hurting yourself. You got to give yourself a chance by putting it in the air.
Yeah. Cope, that's hit over. Picked up. Kaneda has trouble with it, throws it over, and it is out. And they say Bagwell held on. It was a delayed call there by first base umpire Sergio Villarreal. But Kaneda bobbles this ball, picks it up, and throws it over.
Oh, Bacon does a good job of just maintaining her foot there and actually almost gets run over. Heads up play. But Kaneda, it's all about staying with the play, mentally locking in, and not getting upset when you can't get the ball that first time.
And so it's a complicated out for Bagshaw. Now Bruno hits this right over to the right fielder, Tokheim. And so it's a quick 2 outs here for Emerson Cope.
Keep the pitch count down low, but whoa. heads up in right field. I mean, that's Talia Tokheim out there, and she was right place, right time. That ball was hit just to her right, so where it curves down, I mean, she only had to take a couple steps backward.
Tokheim missed all of last year, her sophomore season, due to injury. That ball was hit right at her, and now just a first pitch hit, and that's bobbled by Billy Andrews, and safe will be Ashlyn Anderson. And so a very rare error for Billy Andrews there, who's almost always a sure thing from that shortstop position, but what seemed like a quick inning for Emerson Cope turns into another batter.
Yeah, Andrews ran really aggressively there. It's not to say maybe she overran it, but maybe her head was thinking a little faster than the glove was, and that caused for the mishandle.
Well, fortunately for Cope, it's this bottom half of the lineup she'll have to face extra with, which hasn't been hitting that well this season. Sarah Rozak is up to bat. She's hitting .217 on the year, a .557 OPS. Has hit a homer, though. She takes that first pitch for a ball. Cope delivers. Inside part of the plate. Frame job done by Breadwell. Doesn't get her anything, so it's now 2-0 with 2 outs in the second.
I think you have to take a hack here on 2-0. At least give your team a shot to move the runners around the bags.
Cope, wind up, deliver, swung on, Kaneda with the play, over, and she gets the out over to Bella Bacon, and so the Huskers have to work around an error but set the Kansas Jayhawks down with no runs scored. For Kansas, it'll be Talia Tokheim for the Huskers to lead off this inning. She had a catch in the last half inning. His first pitch is high for ball 1.
Hamilton's pitch count currently at 23, which is nothing bad. But Tokheim here has a chance to do some damage in that leadoff spot and get a runner on board and see how she moves around the bags.
Tokheim hasn't made too many appearances here, only 15 at-bats, but has a .333 average. Entering this one, she's had 3 home runs, and that slugging percentage an incredibly impressive, I believe it's .933. I mean, just a bolstering number there as she's now up in the count 2-0. The pitch, outside part of the plate for a strike. Hitting the corners is Hamilton.
And for Tokheim, it's interesting. When she got her first start of the year at that designated player spot against Illinois, it actually came exactly 365 days from when she suffered her season-ending injury the prior year.
Pitch on, Tokheim swings, and that's foul, and so the count will move even to 2-2. Tokheim, an incredibly talented player, sophomore from California, has emerged as, you know, a very important bat for the Huskers here, a bolt of energy, if you will, into this lineup that already is stacked with full of powerful bats. Count even, pitch in, high, and so we'll go full 3-2.
Someone that came out of high school ranked the 44th player in the nation by extra innings. Obviously, you're doing something right if you have that ranking. And, you know, for the Huskers to get that young energy near the bottom of the lineup, that's where you build your future.
Count full, no outs, bottom of the second. Huskers lead by 1, and that is ball 4. And so Tokheim is the leadoff walk for Nebraska, who's back in business after scoring a first run in the first inning.
Emerson Cope with a chance. Starting pitcher for Nebraska has the opportunity to help herself out a bit.
Topeka, Kansas native has an opportunity, like you said, to put a little damage to her home state team. Hitting .250 on the year with a .368 on base percentage, .406 slugging, 1 home run, and 7 RBIs. Pitcher versus pitcher duel. The pitch outside for strike number 1.
Now, what I would like to see out of the Huskers this inning, since they got the lead runner on, is swing late and try and put that ball in right field. Not only do you have to battle the wind, but the sun is just brutal in that part of the field.
It's a very nicely lit day. I mean, the only thing that doesn't match the weather is the wind, which is affecting this game greatly. We've seen that a lot, so the count goes 1-1 here.
Which is odd because it was raining this morning in Lincoln.
It's doing everything in Lincoln. I mean, the weather here is one of the most ridiculous things that any resident of Lincoln will have to endure. It's not so much the toughness of it, just the randomness. Is the even count, sees a pitch and swung on and missed by Cope. That was a big hack.
It's the first swing and miss that Hamilton has actually forced today.
Great stat there by you. That was very, very attention-driven by Josh Lill. Hamilton has 75 strikeouts on the year, none so far, as this one's launched high into the air in left field. It's being held up greatly, and under it is Haley Kripe to get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that one obviously not only way too under it, but it honestly didn't get up high enough for the wind to really have that dramatic impact that we've seen at other times.
No, I mean that got held down big time, I think. I mean, whenever you have a fly ball go that high and it doesn't even make it out of the infield, I mean, that ball really had some work done on it by the wind, as now it's Bella Bacon up the bat. First baseman's made a couple good plays on the defensive end so far this game, outside part of the plate for ball one. Bacon, the sophomore first baseman from Omaha, Nebraska, Purdue transfer, contributed greatly to this Nebraska Cornhuskers squad to begin the year. She went 2 for 7 in the series against Wisconsin. It's a high pitch, and now throw on over to first. They were trying to see if Tokheim was sleeping over there, but she gets back in time.
Yeah, Tokheim this year has not attempted a stolen base and gets a little too aggressive there, but smart to get past.
I think she tripped up on the plate there. She was on her knees trying to dive back, and so it was a heads-up play by Lyric Moore to throw over this pitch on and in for a strike.
And Bacon's a great hitter. I mean, had a five-game hitting streak this year and a 6-game RBI streak, and both only overlapped by 2 days.
She's a .333 hitter against ranked teams, and this was a formerly ranked team last week. Kansas still one of the top teams in the country. This pitch on, hit high in the air. Coming in on it is Rozak, and she drops it. Miscommunication and thrown on over, and it's out. And so that wind kind of messed things up there for Rozak, and it dropped right in the infield. But, I mean, unfortunately for the Huskers, Tokheim wasn't really paying attention to it. Look, Rozak just can't find it, drops right in front of her. But luckily it was picked up and thrown on. That was Price, the center fielder, makes a heads-up play.
Now, where Tokheim should have started running is right when the right fielder, Linda, twists her head. That's where you need to make the move. But it is tough. There's a pop fly right in front of you. And it just puts you in a bad position when that force out at the base is very close to you.
These conditions playing a massive factor here already. 2 innings into this one as Caitlin Caneda up to bat, lays off that first pitch in the dirt for a strike.
Yeah, so the Huskers should be counting their blessings right now for even just getting that one up, because we're seeing the little difficulties of both sides of play for both teams starting to trickle in.
Caneda settles into the box. No homers on the year. Pitch in, it's high for ball 2. And so after Tokheim gets caught out, it's Bella Bacon who's on first base. Caneda 0 for her last 7. Huskers would love to have her break that streak right here and now. And that's on the outside part of the plate for another strike. Hamilton hammering that spot.
You also bring up the number 7 at this point, at a different point this year, also had a 7-game on-base streak. So someone, just as often as she gets on base, she could also not.
Yeah. I mean, just been very hot and cold, up and down for Caneda this year. That's one swung and fouled quickly over as actually hit Billy Andrews there on the shoulder off the net. So now it's even at 2-2.
And this is why you like to put Caitlin Caneda at the bottom of the order, because if she's hot behind 2 Andrews sisters at that top 2 lineup spots, then you're looking good. But if she's struggling to put the ball in play, then you don't really have a problem, because that's your 9 hitter.
She's essentially the second leadoff hitter, as now she's kind of covering up the plate. Sean Bunt pulls it back. That's outside, and ball number 3, so count goes full.
This is where Ravel likes her. She also knows when the right moments are to be patient. He's taken 8 walks this year.
Kinney trying to kind of shorten up that strike zone, showing the bat, pulls it back, pitch on, and that's hit sharply down the right field line and foul as the wind kind of pushed that one. If a no-win day, that might have landed right on the line, but on a day like today, it's about 10 feet outside of foul territory, so they'll do it again here with 2 outs and 1 on.
Usually you hear a lot of announcers say, oh, she just pokes that a few more feet inside. Well, on a day like today, it's more like, well, if she pokes that 20 feet
exactly.
inside,
I mean,
you might land it.
You got to start. I mean, it's almost like a putt with a crazy lie. You got to start it almost right at the right fielder just for it to drop in. As Kinney will have another go at it. The pitch outside for ball 4, and so Kinney keeps the train moving here for the Huskers with 2 on and 2 out, and the incredibly dangerous Billy Andrews up to bat.
Oh, and this is where Husker fans, the coaches, the players are just licking their chops. You have 2 players on base, 1 in scoring position, and your top hitters, not only at the plate, but on deck.
And so Lyra Cope will take a minute to talk to her pitcher, Casey Hamilton, as go over strategy here. How do we want to pitch them? Where do we want to throw it? Andrews, an incredibly talented player, has made all Big Ten teams, 2 first teams, 1 second team, was an All-American. I mean, it gets no worse position against a no worse hitter for Casey Hamilton here.
So Hamilton, so far today, has walked 2 already. Has not struck out anybody.
Swung on, hit very, very high. Price moving in on it. It'll be Rozak, actually, who tries to make the play, and she catches it. A bounce-back play from Rozak, who dropped that ball earlier, which extended the inning. But Kansas works around an error, a couple of walks, and keeps Nebraska off the scoreboard as we head to the top of the 3rd. The Cornhuskers are up 1-0 here on Big Ten Plus.
Let the wind do its thing. Let nature take its course and try and get you on base.
Angela Price will take her first at-bat of the day. She sees that first pitch and swings on it for a foul ball. She appeared in 25 games last season, but as a pinch runner. This year, her role has changed as a regular hitter, hitting .274 with a .722 OPS with 8 RBIs, no homers. That is a ball in there low, so the count goes even, 1-1.
So you're starting to see, Matt, both Casey Hamilton for Kansas and Emerson Cope for Nebraska start working around the plate. I think they were both hesitant at the start to try and maybe end up throwing some meat over the plate. But now you're working around. You're seeing different types of pitches, too.
That ball is hit sharply over to Kinney, underhand, and in there for out number 1. Little bouncing ball. Kinney does a good job coming in on it and get it over to Bella Bacon for out number 1.
Yeah, gets a quick hand here. Right there, underhand. And on a 2-hopper there that is moving that slow, you might like to see her charge that ball just so you're not put in that position to give the runner the shot. But an out is an out at the end of the day.
Especially with a speed spur like Price, who's got 9 stolen bases off the year. So we'll go to the top of the order here for Kansas with the slap hitter Limbaugh. Back at it. She grounded out in her first at-bat on a pretty good play from Sydney Gray.
It's important that they got Price off because she was used 25 times as a pinch runner last year, and when you have a slap hitter here at the top of the order in Presley Limbaugh, the runner could advance very easily.
Very easily. And so that was Sydney Gray actually kind of yelling at the umpire. She thought that Limbaugh might have gotten out of the box. That's one of the rules of the slap hitter. You cannot get out of the box when you make contact with the ball. So it's kind of an art making sure you're staying in that box once the contact is made, which sometimes hitters can get out of there and cost themselves some hits, as that's on the inside part of the plate for a ball. So the count moves to 2-1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where she aims to put this ball. Obviously a lefty. The odds are that it goes to the right side if she gets on it are very high. But you also don't want to go opposite side because Gray has a good glove and a quick arm.
Kinney makes a play on it, running toward the middle, not in time, over the head of Bella Bacon. It bounces off the dugout of the Jayhawks, and so just like that, Presley Limbaugh gets on base. It's a tough play for Kinney, who was shaded on the right field side of the infield. Had to move all the way towards her offhand in the middle, and couldn't make that play in time, and an errant throw. And so it should go down as a hit for Limbaugh, which it does.
If I'm Kinney there, I think I'm holding onto that ball. You had a speedster in Limbaugh going down the baseline. And the second that Kinney had that ball, Limbaugh was ready to get on the bag. And I think just to avoid the error and the extra base, it's just best to hold onto the ball.
So Lynn Duff will come up to bat. She's got the one of 3 hits on Emerson Cope this evening. Limbaugh over on first. She's stolen 3 bases this year. Lynn Duff, not too many RBIs on the season. She tries to put down a bunt. She's successful. It's Emerson Cope who shovels it over to Bacon. They cannot get the runner at second, so it's Limbaugh on second with 2 outs here in the inning.
I like that move from Cope there. I think she flipped it to her while the ball was in the glove.
So head coach Jennifer McFalls opts to get a runner in scoring position as opposed to have Lindoff, a 250 hitter, try and bring her in. So that'll bring up the 300 hitter in Lyric Moore. That's a bouncing ball in front of Bacon, and so Limbaugh steals third. That'll go probably as a wild pitch that bounced right in front of Bacon, or Breadwell rather. See here, yeah, it just bounces. Breadwell can't get all of that, picks it up, decides to hold it, a good option. So it's 2 outs with the runner on third for the Jayhawks. Just 90 feet away from tying this game up, and we'll take a bit of a timeout as Cope will tie her shoe and reset the pitch clock.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
And so we're back here at Bowlin Stadium on Big Ten Plus for our coverage of Nebraska softball taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm Matt McMaster, joined by Josh Lowen, a 1-0 ball game. Both pitchers, Casey Hamilton and Emerson Cope, have done a good job working around traffic in these first couple of innings. Hamilton has had a tough time finding the strike zone, especially on that outside part of the plate, but has only surrendered 1 run, and she'll have to face the heart of the Husker lineup. 2, 3, and 4 up to bat. It'll first be Brooke Andrews, who singled on Hamilton to start her day. Pitch in, swung on, and fouled back by Andrews.
Yeah, a lot of late swings here from both teams. That's why you're seeing the ball being fouled off to the opposite side of the batter's box that they're in.
So Hamilton back in the circle. Pitch. Hit on sharply to center field. Coming in on it is Angela Price, unable to get it. Brooke Andrews makes a hard turnaround first, but stays at first for her second hit of the game. A nice ball and a great attempt by Price, but just gets out of that glove. And Andrews has her second hit of the day.
And Andrews waits a little bit, seeing that ball come in, and that's where the Husker hits have really come through, except for the exception of the deep ball in right center, is just hit it up the middle. There's a huge gap.
There is a massive gap there. It was a good effort by Price, but just couldn't get there. And it was a really hardly hit ball as Ava Breadwell now up the bat. She popped up in her first time at the home plate. Breadwell, 340 on the year. A runner on first with no outs. The pitch, low and outside for ball 2.
Again, another good opportunity here on 2-0 with a speedy runner on first. This is where you take your swing.
No outs here, so you got to assume that Andrews more than likely not on the run. They got plenty of options to play with, especially with the 3, 4, 5 hitters up to bat. A 2-0 count. Hamilton deals high for ball 3.
Now, Matt, I have to ask, whether it's baseball or softball, do you swing on 3-0?
No,
Are you
yes. I am so against the whole 3-0 count, you don't swing type thing. I don't. If it's a good pitch, just have the same approach. If it's a good pitch, you should swing at it. That was a bad question to ask me. I'm passionate about that. As Ava Breadwell doesn't take my advice. Well, does take my advice. Ball 4 there lays off a bad pitch, and so the Huskers have their best opportunity of the evening here in the bottom of the 3rd inning with 2 on and 2 out, and Samantha Bland up to bat.
They have their third runner in scoring position, and so far on the day, 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position.
And so Bland, who has the RBI double on the day, ended up on third base due to a throwing error, will face Hamilton for the second time. Hamilton lines, pitches, in there. First strike one. Good pitch.
Okay, so you're in the heart of the lineup. You're in that second time through. This is where the comfortability starts to set in, and you realize, okay, this is Hamilton's approach. What can I do to basically match that? And that's kind of the mindset a lot of these players are going through on round number 2.
Deals, and that is ball 1, so count goes even. Bland knows what she's looking for, because the last time she hit what she was looking for, she was able to almost get a ball out of here, which is, I mean, we would think is incredibly improbable with how this wind is still howling the way that it is. Hamilton on the even count, swung on, hard hit ball in the left field. Here comes Brooke Andrews. They'll throw it home. Andrews in, going to third and safe. And an incredible job there, and goes to second is Samantha Bland. And so Brooke Andrews comes in to score. An incredible heads-up base running by the Huskers, as they're still on board here with 2 on and no outs in the third inning, and they lead 2-0.
Everybody's safe, and we've seen this with Kansas several times today, that the throwing errors, there's not much an error there, but it's just everything is just a tad late. But it's more of Rhonda Ravel controlling at that third base when to send the runners. You have the right amount of speed around the bases, and Samantha Bland hits the fence in right field one day and lines that one through the ground on left the other.
Incredible slide by Ava Bredwell, who just beat that throw into third from Lyric Hope. It was a good throw also, too, from the left fielder, Presley Limbaugh. Very competitive throw, but Brooke Andrews, I mean, no worse person to be running for the Jayhawks than the speedster out of Gretna. So the Huskers up 2-0 and still in business here with runners on second and third with no outs. That first pitch into Sydney Gray was a strike. Here comes the 0-1 count. High for ball 1.
Yeah, nothing Kansas really did wrong there defensively in that sense. I mean, you could talk about the defense at shortstop letting the ball get through, but it was good throwing around the backs, but just better base running by Nebraska.
It was just quicker running by Nebraska. I mean, everything they did there, Kansas, was picture perfect. I mean, no errant throws like we saw earlier in the game. This pitch is hold off and a strike. It's a great pitch by Hamilton. So now the count moves 1-2. Man, a strikeout would be big here for Hamilton.
Yeah, has yet to have one. Most of the strikes she's thrown have been looking.
Hamilton, 75 strikeouts on the year. Not necessarily a K pitcher, but very rare for her not to have one through nearly 3 innings. The pitch is on and swung on foul by Gray, so we'll go back to 1-2.
Kansas knows they have length in Hamilton, right? She has 15 complete games this year, which is tied for the lead in the nation. So you know you're going to get length out of her, but you also have to limit how many pitches she has to throw, and that's all about the Husker offense.
You got to also think, too, I mean, it's a midweek game, so I think the bullpen is fully open for both squads here as that ball is held off on. So now 2-2 the count for Sydney Gray. Tuesday game, you don't play another game until Friday. Everyone's fairly rested up pretty well. Also, that underhand motion, I mean, it's not as taxing as the overhand motion of baseball, and so a lot of pitches can be thrown. So if they need to get off of Hamilton, you think that Jennifer McFalls will, as that ball is hit high into left field. It's going to be held up. Limbaugh moving under it, and Bredwell will stay put on third base. Limbaugh started tracking that ball almost near the track and then kept moving in and moving in and moving in. And as that ball got held up more and more, it didn't allow Bredwell to advance on a sacrifice fly. So we'll do it again with 2 runners on, but this time with 1 out.
Yeah, it's just the smart move there, right? You don't want to put yourself in position to get an unnecessary out when you can already keep your 2 runners in scoring position, and you still have 2 chances.
Tokheim up to bat. She walked in her first time up. Samantha Bland on second. Bredwell on third. Hamilton the wide and the pitch high for ball 1. Tokheim, we talked about it, just kind of starting this season so far for the Huskers, only 15 at-bats. She's played, this is her 7th game of the season, only her 5th start after coming off of injury. She lays off that one, but it's in there for a strike.
Yeah, no extra base hits this year. Also no strikeouts for Tokheim, too.
Yeah, I mean, very few batters you would want in this position if you're Rhonda Ravel than Tokheim, the very disciplined bat, because the strikeout would almost thwart the threat completely. 1-1 the count. Wind-up pitch, swung on, foul. Just got under that one, and that was probably heading toward right field. And so Tokheim will be in the hole here, 1-2.
Actually, excuse me, I want to correct myself.
Go ahead.
I said no extra base hits for her this year. She has 3 home runs. I was looking at the today category.
Huskers would love a home run here. Swung on, strikeout for Hamilton. And Lyra Cope does a great job keeping that ball in front of her, too. And so Hamilton gets to 2 outs here with 2 runners on in the bottom of the 3rd.
So right now, you have Emerson Cope up to bat. If you want any chance of bringing that runner home, if you don't think you're going to get a lot of contact, you have to position yourself to put that ball on the right side of the infield and give Breadwell the most amount of time to run from 3rd to home.
Hamilton the pitch. Outside ball 1. Emerson Cope, she popped out in her first at-bat of the day, having an opportunity to help herself on the mound if she can bring in these runners and Bland and Breadwell on 2nd and 3rd respectively. It's a very tense moment in the game. 1-0, pitch clock down to 4. Hamilton deals, swung on, foul, and Hamilton gets the count even, a 1-1. If you're Hamilton here, you got to be thinking in terms of the micro. You're just 2 pitches away from getting out of the inning.
It's important just to honestly, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but lock in on the moment because anyone in this Husker lineup can hit that ball.
Deal swung on and missed, and so 1-2 is the count. As Cope, just a couple batters ago, had no strikeouts, and now with an opportunity to get her 2nd in the biggest moment of this game up to this point in the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Huskers up 2. Bland on 2nd, Breadwell on 3rd. Hamilton winds, delivers, swung on and missed. And Casey Hamilton gets out of the jam, but the Huskers add 1 run to their score before they're set down on strikeouts here as Nebraska leads 2-0 after 3 on Big Ten Plus. No strikeouts to this day, or up to this point in the day. If Kansas, you're making contact, you're seeing Cope, you're getting through the second, at-bats of the lineup. It's just more so about making more solid contact. We've seen a lot of choppers and bouncers and weakly hit ground balls. They need to get that barrel to the bat more.
Defensive change here for the Huskers. Kaylin Neal is in for Talia Tokheim in right field. So not only having to battle the sun, but having to deal with the wind as well. Count currently sitting at 1-1. Leading off for the Jayhawks is Haley Kripe, the righty to righty here. Sees that one outside, 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to left field. Kripe on the air strikes out more than she walks.
Yeah, interesting move there from the Huskers to bring in Neal. We'll see. I mean, unaware if that has to do with injury or just substitution.
Diving catch made by Sydney Gray. Lunges to her left, and that one easily would have been a single. But Kripe is robbed by Gray.
Hard hit ball, and Sydney Gray, I mean, she's made a couple of those plays today, Josh. And I think the most put out so far for the Huskers. I think Caitlin Caneda is right behind her as well. Just both second and third base making incredible plays behind their pitcher, Emerson Cope.
Here's Campbell Bagshaw, second best batting average on the team, sitting at .311. 1 for 1 today, last time out. Grounded out to Caitlin Caneda at second. One of those choppy handles by Caneda, but got the out nonetheless. So Bagshaw, there's a big hole up the middle. If she can barrel up the ball, even with the wind, she'll definitely get on base. Outfielders shifted.
Yeah, Bagshaw probably the most complete hitter on this Kansas Jayhawks team. 3 home runs, 25 RBIs, slugging over 500.
Bagshaw takes that one and swings for the first strike.
Yeah, we talked about it. Emerson Cope, not a swing and miss pitcher. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of strikeouts on this season. She actually only has 5 in 24 innings.
Sees that one inside, watches it for a strike. Beautifully placed by Emerson Cope. 2 balls, 2 strikes here with 1 out. Careful approach coming here from Bagshaw. This one right over the middle, sees that one wide. So full count here, 3-2.
Important moment here for Bagshaw. Base runner with 1 out. After batters seeing Cope for a second time, that'd be massive here. Big pitch.
Cope's delivery. Grounded back and fouled right at the netting. So we'll do full count over again. And Kansas as a team with an RPI of 30 coming into this one. Fell out of the top 25 after being swept by the powerhouse in the Oklahoma Sooners. And Huskers are working their way up after dealing with the adversity of losing the all-out stud, Jordy Ball, as that one is fouled back.
Well, it was an incredibly tough non-con schedule for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They played some of the best teams in the country, ranging from the SEC to the Big 12 to the Pac-12. And this is their final non-conference game of the season. They would love to end that part of their schedule off with a big win over a good team in Kansas.
Cope for the 3rd time in full count. Grounded over to Andrews. With ease, throws that in time over to first for the 2nd out.
You know, Billy Andrews makes that play look so easy, but I'll tell you something right now. This was not an easy play. It was about to, look, takes one more. It was about to take a hop right into her glove. She had to time it out a little quicker. If she's a little bit too far back, that'll bounce in front of her. She'll bobble it. If she's too far in front of it, it'll hit her almost on the fly, which is an even tougher play. She plays that perfectly on the bounce and gets that over to Breadwell for the 2nd out of the inning.
Designated player Olivia Bruno flies that one out to center. Brooke Andrews tracking in the sun, takes a few steps back, and that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Emerson Cope and the Huskers. They keep the Kansas Jayhawks at bay and still lead 2-0. Heading into the bottom of the 4th, you're watching Big Ten baseball on Big Ten Plus.
Found her rhythm with those 2 strikeouts to end that 3rd inning. I mean, that was an inning that could have been catastrophic for Hamilton with 2 on, with no one out on 2nd and 3rd, but she was able to work through it. And seems like she might have found her stride, which would be massive for the Jayhawks if they're going to get back into this one.
So here's Bacon, sees that one down the middle for a strike. Got on a fielder's choice. It was a wonky play. It was a pop-up at second where Tokheim was kind of caught off guard. So she was thrown out at second, which allowed Bacon to advance to first safely. So she sees that one. Goes for a ball.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Bacon, you know, was kind of a utility type player on Purdue's team last year, but Rhonda Revelle clearly saw something in the Big Ten product and convinced her to come over to Nebraska, and she's been a great first baseman for him.
And Bacon lines that one into left field, takes a little hop off the turf, and is on safely. A liner through the hole between 3rd and short gets her on. So the Huskers have another leadoff hitter on today.
It's a great piece of hitting here. We've seen Hamilton really hammer the outside part of the plate today, but Bacon very calm in the box, sees one on that more so middle inside part of the plate, gets her barrel over it, quick hands, and sharply in the left field. And so, like you said, we've seen a lot of leadoff runners, right? Leadoff walks equal leadoff runs. Leadoff hits equal leadoff runs. Unfortunately for the Huskers, they haven't put all of that, together, 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And Bacon isn't necessarily a steal threat on the base paths. She has stolen no bases this year, but we could see maybe a bunt into scoring position, maybe even a hit and run to give her a head start with Kaneda up to bat. So this will be an interesting coaching decision here from Ravel.
So first pitch here, bunt laid down, goes foul. And that actually makes sense because there were a couple of coaches for Nebraska, Ravel included, that gathered Kaneda in the batter's box before she stepped in to hit. And they were talking for about 20 seconds on the strategy here.
Well, it's basically, look, we know that you walked earlier. We know that you're having good at-bats, but we want you to put down a bunt because we have no outs. We can use it. Also, we got Billy Andrews coming up to bat next, and we'd rather have her with a runner on second.
That one outside for Kaneda, even count.
So no bunt there. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they call one here, maybe to try and get the third baseman, Ashlyn Anderson, off tilt because she is playing incredibly in on the infield right now.
Yeah, usually you'd like to see a lefty bat to the left side, or bunt to the left side, but you mentioned she's playing very shallow. That one swung awkwardly in the air, and it trickles right in front of that Jayhawk dugout. So pitcher's count here, 1-2.
Unconventional thinking. You would think that the bunt would be off with 2 strikes here. But with Billy Andrews up to bat, I don't think they would mind if a runner was just still on first base as opposed to a double play. So I wouldn't be surprised if she lays down a bunt here.
Any runners on for Billy Andrews, that's what you want. Swing and a miss there on the off-speed pitch. Almost high to the outside, so Kaneda hits the dugout. Top of the order for the Huskers. This will be their 3rd time through, believe it or not. In his, I was going to say as many innings, but it's only the bottom of the 4th. Cornhuskers with 5 hits so far, and the team hitting 2 for 11 with just runners on base, period.
Hamilton, that was her 3rd strikeout of the game, and 3 in 4 batters.
As that one is grounded softly over to short, Kripe handles it over to first in time to Bagshaw. So down goes Billy Andrews, and Brooks steps in with 2 outs. But Bacon advances to second, so you have a runner in scoring position. And as Hamilton heats up, Matt, you need to take your chances when you get them, because if she gets on a roll, this is someone that has a lot of length and that does have a low ERA, 2.76 on the year. It can be trouble. And she hits 300 in just about every runner's category. 341 with runners on, 345 with runners in scoring position, and 300 with 2 outs. She sees that one hit the dirt for ball number 1.
I've been really impressed with Lyra Cope's play behind the plate thus far. She led the Big 12 last year in runners stealing, but she's been incredibly impressive with her blocks from behind the plate. Multiple times runners could have been able to advance because she didn't execute that.
Payoff down the middle. That one gets through the hole. One runner will score. Bacon rounding third. There it goes. Safe! And an RBI double for Brooke Andrews as she gets attempted to be thrown out at second, but slides back in safely. And the Huskers pick up their 3rd run on the afternoon.
It was a nice piece of hitting by Andrews once again up the middle, kind of a slower type ground ball as it took that first bounce just a couple feet in front of home plate. But look at this base running here by Bacon. I mean, she realizes immediately that this ball is going to be up, and so we don't see the replay there, but she did a great job coming around, and Lyra Cope couldn't get that tag with that outreaching arm. She was really close to getting her out, but Bacon with a beautiful slide, and the Huskers are up 3-0.
And slides have saved the day for Nebraska.
1,000,000%.
So Ava Breadwell steps into the batter's box. Brooke Andrews with an aggressive lead. You have to. With 2 outs, you're on second. Have to be ready to go on any contact.
Well, look, you don't want to end a steal on third to be your first out, and you don't want it to be your 3rd out. And so despite the fact that Andrews has been stealing bases left, right, and center this year, she's not going to take this back here, but she is still going to be aggressive.
Breadwell has been forced out at first, and walked today.
Yeah, talk about slides. Breadwell had an incredible slide earlier in the game to kind of keep an inning alive. And Brooke Andrews, who on second had another incredible slide to keep that same inning alive and score a run.
You know what's funny? In the first couple innings, most of the pitches were hit to right field. Now they're being hit to left as she sees that one high but over the plate.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of high fly balls from this Husker team outside of that first inning. And so definitely an approach change here from the Big Red because of that wind, which isn't coming in at the same intensity, but still definitely is a factor in this one.
It's down to 21 miles an hour. Its high was at 23. Now an inside 4 strike, so 3-1. Opts to not swing there on 3-1.
3-0.
3-0. Thank you, sir.
Very welcome, Josh. That's what I'm here for. The very little mistakes you make, I'm here to correct them.
3-1. Pitch count down to 2 seconds. Inside for a strike. Beautifully painted by Hamilton.
Ooh, that was close. That was nice, and she's really worked that outside part of the play, and I don't think
And Breadwell.
There's some conversation there between the coaching staff and Breadwell just adjusting her uniform. Look at this pitch. Oh, that's a nice frame job too by Hope. I've been so impressed by her ability behind the plate. Very much controlling this game. So close to getting that runner out at second or at home just a couple minutes ago.
Full count here with 2 outs. Brooke Andrews on second. Breadwell with a chance to possibly get the Huskers their 4th run, and that one flies back nearly toward Haymarket Park. That one goes over the press box. So 24 is going to pitch to 24 here.
She's up to pitch 84 today thus far. 3 Ks and 3 strikeouts through 3 2/3.
Lefty to righty. Big pitch here. High and outside, so runners on first and second for the Huskers. Breadwell.
You got to think there's a meeting coming up here. Yep.
And that's one thing.
No, I think they're going to change the pitcher. Her last appearance, she got blown up by Oklahoma, one inning pitch, 5 earned runs, but had a very nice performance against Houston, going 4 with 1 earned.
So runners on first and second for the Huskers. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th with a chance to do significant damage. But it's always tough coming in and seeing a new pitcher, right? That you haven't been through the lineup enough. You might not know the stuff too well. This could be to Brooks' advantage.
And look, it's a lively pitcher as well. Brooks has a really, really nice fastball, and she's not afraid to hammer the zone with it. And what you also have to think of too is that these Nebraska Cornhuskers have been seeing left-handed pitching all day from Hamilton. Now they're going to see some action from a righty, which is a weird adjustment right off the bat.
So 3 pitches in a row, 3 balls, all high and outside. And so right here for Samantha Bland, make sure this is the pitch you want because you have a chance to load the bases up for Sydney Gray.
Be massive here. And
here's the payoff. Inside, catches the plate. So huge first strike.
I like that approach from Bland. She said, look, I'm not going to swing at anything until you can prove to me that you can throw a strike. First 3 pitches thrown, 3 balls. She waits on that one. She hits the inside part of the corner. She's got her respect now.
That one inside. Bland is walked, and Gray steps into the batter's box with the bags loaded. Huge opportunity here with 2 outs for the Huskers to really extend their with a chance to double their lead.
Yeah, well, the Huskers, we've talked about it, right? With runners on and runners in scoring position, they haven't had that much success. I mean, they've controlled this game in terms of opportunities, but, I mean, it's still only a 3-run ball game. And Jayhawks, with their offense, definitely still in it.
That one fouled back by Gray.
But this is the opportunity to open it up. And if you're Rhonda Revelle, I mean, there are very few bats you would like to have in this lineup than Sydney Gray, who entered this contest hitting over 300 and has been a mainstay at third base for this Nebraska Cornhusker program for the better half of 3 years.
Like you mentioned, Matt, has just been able to do it all. Just one of those all-around players that you want to sign when you're recruiting players out of high school. Gray sees that one. It's chopped over to the right side and goes way foul. On a day with very little wind, that might have a chance to drop, but goes way to the side.
Yeah, kind of just hit the end of the bat there on a slicing swing on a breaking ball coming inside, and that's kind of the recipe for which you get those opposite field bloopers, but just couldn't straighten it out.
Here's the payoff. That one chopped to the right side and almost hit a couple of fans over there. Heads up. So we'll do 0-2 again. 2 strikes, no balls, 2 outs, bases loaded for Sydney Gray.
Yeah, good protective swings from Gray, down 0-2, almost golfing at this ball, right? Just trying to get it up and out, get something in play, especially with these conditions.
And that one bounces in the dirt, probably 3 feet before even home plate. So an easy one not to swing at for Sydney Gray.
And great block by Hope once again. Bails out her pitcher. And that could have easily have been 2 runs if that got out of hand.
1-2 count here. That one chopped and fouled off of Gray. That one actually hit her left arm, but thanks to that elbow guard, able to shake that one off very easily.
Yeah, it didn't have the same luck that Hope did a couple innings ago. Just battling here. You know, and this is how you should approach an 0-2 count. Fight everything off, and then see an obvious ball and don't swing. Get yourself back even.
Gray with a chance inside. Lets that one go by. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Huskers threatening.
Very few things more frustrating for a pitcher than getting up 0-2 against a batter and then having to use 8-9 pitches to seal the deal. But that's what Gray is doing to Brooks.
Gray fouls that one. Matt, you and I were talking a little baseball and softball before this one. It's tough to come into a broken inning.
It is.
Right here for Katie Brooks.
It is. It's incredible. I mean, all the pressure in the world is on you, even though they're not your base runners. It's not your fault necessarily that the base runners are on base. They're now your responsibility, right? And so it's, regardless of what goes down in the stats, it's Brooks' responsibility to get this out. So there's a ton of pressure, especially in the leverage in this situation has, considering the fact that the Jayhawks are down 3 and a hit here could really open up this game.
Brooks, big pitch. Gray fouls that one up. Will it get out of play to save the Huskers? Yes, it does. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs will be redone yet again.
Yeah, I think that Sydney Gray should write a letter to the wind after that one, thanking it for pushing that one out of play. That was ridiculous. I mean, that started almost nearly on the line and worked its way all the way out behind the Jayhawks dugout.
Righty to righty. Gray flies that one up. That should stay in play. Over is Linduff. Linduff nearly in foul territory. Had to gravitate to her left by about 10 feet. Snags that ball. And the Jayhawks get out of a bases-loaded jam. And the Huskers, well, that's the story today, is leaving runners in scoring position. So the Jayhawks only give up 1, but still trail 3-0 heading into the top of the 5th. They're doing things better, right? You're seeing the defense work together again. You're seeing more cohesive play on that side, but they're just not able to figure out Emerson Cope.
No, they have not been able to figure out the soft-tossing righty who's just been able to induce ground balls and just softly hit pitches everywhere. And she's done a great job and has trusted her fielders behind her, has worked around an error earlier in the game, too, from Billy Andrews. And so Cope just really just throwing stuff there that's hard to get a bat on.
Cope goes off speed inside there and paints that one along the plate, so 1-1 count. And in an era, Matt, where we see in softball and in baseball where everyone's really about throwing hard and getting the speed up on their pitches, sometimes it's your soft throwers that can throw everybody off because you're going for more of that spin, you're going for more of the funk, and trying to just switch up the pace.
Well, spin rate has changed both the games of softball and baseball, and I feel that Cope has done a really good job, especially in these latter half innings in the 3rd and 4th, hitting her spot. She had trouble doing so in the first couple of innings, but she's found her stride here.
Inside there, hitters count 2-1. Last time up for Anderson, it was a single over to short. It was a hard hit ball, and you're obviously doing something right if you're making Billy Andrews have a hard time with that one. That one lined out to right field, into the gap. Kaylin Neal, the right fielder, chasing it. The throw in to Billy Andrews, and it is a safe double for Anderson. Did that one with ease and just made great contact right off the bat.
You could not ask for a better start if you're head coach Jennifer McFalls for her Kansas Jayhawks. A beautifully placed, kind of like she took her pitching wedge out and put that all the way in that perfect spot between right and center field. Drops that in there for the outreaching arm of Kaylin Neal. And look, I didn't say it, but it kind of felt like, yeah, it's a 3-0 game, but it felt more than a 3-run lead for Nebraska just because of Kansas's inability to get on base and to consistently have hard hit balls and move the line. This leadoff double for Kansas is exactly what they needed.
We have a pinch hitter here for Kansas, Sophia Buzzared. See strike one there, so the lefty getting a chance to go up against Emerson Cope. This year, the pinch hitter for the Jayhawks, batting 150, 20 at bats, has 3 hits to her name. Sees that one outside. So with a runner on second and one, I don't know if inexperienced is the right word to use, but someone that maybe doesn't have the significant amount of at-bats has a chance to really have a staple here, as that one is grounded through the hole. One run has a chance to score for Kansas. The throw in time. Got them all. Beautiful throw from Brooke Andrews to throw out Ashlyn Anderson at home.
What a frozen rope from Brooke Andrews. My goodness. Just on a complete line. I mean, couldn't draw it up more beautiful than that. Picks it up, 2 strides, nice throw, bang, right there. And good heads-up base running from Sophia Buzzard. Look, the thing about Buzzard, I was waiting to mention it, and then she had that hit. She was 0 for her last 7, and so comes up big time there for the Jayhawks, but great defense beats good offense from Brooke Andrews. In a very important spot as Addison Purvis steps up to bat.
Yeah, as the Huskers make a pitching change, Kansas throws in a pinch hitter, Addison Purvis, in for the Jayhawks, batting .225 this year. As that one catches the outside of the plate for strike one. That's .250 with runners on and .231 with runners in scoring position. 40 at-bats this year with 9 hits, 11 walks, 9 Ks, and 2 extra base hits, which are all doubles. He's another one there. Pitcher's count here, so Kinney with 2 looking strikes. 1-2, runner on second.
Yeah, and something to mention here, I mean, just an interesting move here from McFalls. Could go with 2 pinch hitters after her offense couldn't get anything going in those first innings.
Well, that's just it, right? Your approach for McFalls, you're going out on a limb, trying something that isn't too common with going with back-to-back pinch hitters, but obviously she sees something that we don't, because Kansas has been unable to really get the ball past those outfielders. We've seen it a couple of times, but for the most part, as that one goes wide, it's a even count at 2-2. We haven't seen anything spectacular in terms of the contact today.
Not at all. Honestly, their best hit of the day came from Ashlyn Anderson just a couple at-bats ago with that double off the wall. So they had really nothing of significance until this inning.
Chance for the punch out. Just outside. And you can kind of hear we have the student radio on our left and we have the Husker radio network on our right. And none of the announcers said anything. It was just kind of waiting for that possible.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, the stunned silence, and now a full count.
So here we go. That one chopped to the left side, coming in to make the catch.
Great catch by Bland. I mean, that was incredible. Just read that off the bat immediately, came diving in, got her glove all over it, and keeps that runner at bay. If she didn't read this ball as well as she did, look, she's running in right away. As soon as it comes off the bat, that would have dropped in easily. And I don't know. I mean, it was kind of secure base running from Buzzard, so maybe if that ball did bounce, she might have just gotten into third. But still, 2 outs here. Massive for Kaylin Kinney on the mound.
Heads up playing left. Shout out to Samantha Bland. So with 2 outs, Kinney with a chance to get out of this one. And Matt, you made a great point earlier. When you have runners in scoring position, or just runners on in period, and you have a pitching change, everyone kind of looks at the runs versus the earned runs, and it doesn't count until the person on first scores.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, you're a team.
It's your responsibility.
And a run that scores is a run against, and that one goes in the dirt, so 2 consecutive balls here.
Look, a good coach once told me, it could be your play and your glove and your base and your whatever, your bat, your glove. Look, it's our scoreboard. That scoreboard is reflective of all of us. So whether or not it's your stats, you still got to go out there and perform. Kaylin Kinney gets a massive first out to kind of let her freshman counterpart off the hook.
So throws a strike there after throwing 2 to the outside. Here's Kinney, lefty to righty. Paints the outside corner for strike 2. I love how the softball umps, they take their time making that strike call. I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat. That's been 3+ years of doing it. I'm still on the edge of my seat.
2s everywhere. 2-2, 2 outs, run around second.
There we go. 2s across the board. Chop swing over to Gray. Over to first in time to Bacon for a 3rd out. So Kinney comes in and has his first inning of successful relief pitching. The Huskers maintain their 3-0 lead on the Kansas Jayhawks. So we head to the bottom of the 5th, where Kaylin Neal leads off for the Huskers. For some Big Ten softball, Huskers lead 3-0, and everybody's been firing on all cylinders, and everything's been clicking for the Huskers, from pitching and defense to batting and having patience with a good eye as Neal sees ball 1 there.
I'll correct you a little bit here. Everything's been clicking except for runners in scoring position.
Yes,
the Huskers have not done a great job getting those runners past home plate, but they've done a superb job of getting them in position to do so.
So Neal sees a strike there, and sometimes it takes a little bit into the game, but the process of getting those runners to score, you just need to get them there first. Get that feel of having the runners there, and then everything will come through as you work your way through the 3rd, the 4th time through the order. So we are halfway through the 3rd time of the batting order of Nebraska. And again, Cope's pitching day is done. Kinney subbed in for her, Kaylin Kinney, out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
But Cope's hitting day is not done. She's on deck right now waiting for Caitlin Neal to get her job finished.
Katie Brooks out there for the Jayhawks as Neal slices that one foul into the Husker bullpen, and Brooks came in for Casey Hamilton.
Let's get a wind update.
Matt McMaster, the meteorologist, checking.
Blowing in 20. We're back up to 23 miles an hour. My goodness. Straight in. I mean, this thing has not given up in over an hour and 40 minutes of play.
Neal sees that one outside the zone.
I mean, that wind was blowing like that when we got here for call at 3:30.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something.
Yeah, try flying a kite today. You might lose that kite. I would not
might.
do it.
You're going to. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Brooks delivers that one to Neal. Slicing in foul territory. It'll stay in the field, but it does go foul. So full count here in that leadoff spot for Caitlin Neal. It's 20 starts this year, but coming in today, so it feels like 53. It's beautiful. We've had a high of 55.
Incredible thing here. This is Katie Brooks' 3rd batter faced. She's already thrown 20 pitches.
Neal slides that one into left field, and it gets by Limbaugh. Rounding first into second is Neal. She in there in time. She's out of there. So one out here, bottom of the 5th. The freshman with a chance to make a statement. Big hack there for strike one.
You know, this is why these weekday games are really important for the development of a program, right? You have a player like Malia Thomas who's shown promise this year, hitting .273 with 2 RBIs, but she's only had 11 at-bats on the season as a freshman, and so she gets some at-bats here and some, you know, this is still a high-leverage game, Josh, but it's definitely not as high stakes as an in-conference game would be. And so just getting some valuable experience here against one of the better pitchers in the Big 12 in Katie Brooks.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Tom's the lefty. Sees that one for a ball. So 2-1 the count.
Thomas, the number 42 overall recruit in an extra inning softball heading in. Had 17 home runs in Aces fast pitch softball, and so has a ton of power behind her bat.
Wanted to use that power there and swings right through that pitch. Brooks gave her the heater.
Yeah, Thomas yet to have a home run in her Husker career. You know, it's actually a pretty impressive crowd here at Bowlin Stadium considering what the weather looks like.
The Husker fans show up, swing and a miss there. Big strikeout for Katie Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks does a phenomenal job there. I mean, she's got a rocket of a fastball with really good movement, and it's tough for any pitcher, or any hitter rather, to catch up to that, especially one that has only seen 11 at-bats up to this point. And so now the very reliable Bella Bacon will step up to the plate with 2 outs here in the 5th.
So Bacon has reached twice today. One was on that fielder's choice with that shallow outfield, deep infield pop-up, and then singled as well. So the clouds covering the sun, so the big lights are dimmed here a little bit at Bowlin as the bright outfield lights start to turn on.
They got great lights here at Bowlin.
They do.
It's just a great stadium, and you're hard-pressed to find much better stadiums in the nation.
As that one is taken for a ball. And I also kind of liked when they went for turf in the outfield because that end out there just pops.
That, it's just like with the weather out here in Nebraska, it's so hard to take care of grass. I mean, you should ask Haymarket Park about it. It's no easy task. And so, I mean, it's just very nice to consistently be able to play ball games out here.
Brooks delivers inside and in the dirt. And you have been praising Lyric Moore all day today, not only for her play, but I want to talk about the leadership because every time she knows something is wrong, and a lot of this is off camera, when the team's walking off to the dugout, she is always there consoling the pitcher, giving advice, and that's why you have that stable connection between both the pitchers. And that one inside, both those pitchers being Casey Hamilton.
Moore's a true leader. True leader, and there's no surprise why she plays so much catcher and why she's behind the plate. She's got a kind of a demeanor that calms the rest of the team, which is, you know, kind of the main job of the catcher. You're supposed to be the backbone of this defense, which she is.
That one high and outside, and Bacon sees that one. So she's headed to first, and the bottom of the order is up in Kaylin Caneda. If only the Huskers, you know, they wish they could take their batting average today with 2 outs, which is .333, and you know, share a little bit of that with the runners on and runners in scoring position.
Flip that for their RISP, but it's been a really good day thus far from the bottom of the order. Just very competitive at bats.
Check swing there for a strike.
Bacon's got it on. Caitlin Caneda has gotten on base. Caitlin Neal has gotten on base. I mean, it's exactly what you hope for out of the bottom of the lineup. Tokheim, who was also at the bottom of the order, got on before she was taken out of the game.
Outside there. So Brooks today has pitched 1 inning, 1 full inning, and given up a hit.
33 pitches. I mean, these Nebraska Cornhusker hitters are really working the count, making every out tough for Brooks.
Another one fouled back by Caneda. She has 2 walks and just 1 strikeout today. But we also saw with Casey Hamilton is you didn't see the strikeout numbers start to increase as she got more comfortable with the Huskers lineup. So that could be the same case for Katie Brooks.
Well, typically it's the other way around. The hitters get comfortable with the pitchers, but I think it's more so getting comfortable with the elements. I mean, just pitching in this wind is not easy, especially when you're trying to throw some nasty stuff.
Here we go, swing and a miss by Kinney, and the 5th inning is over. So Katie Brooks gets through that one unscathed, but the Huskers still lead 3-0. Jayhawks set to bat, trailing 3-0 in the top of the 6th. You are watching Big Ten Softball on Big Ten Plus.
For the Big Red, after coming in relief for Emerson Cope last inning, as that first pitch is in there for a strike for Kaylin Kinney.
Gets off on the right foot here, literally throwing a strike to start off the top of the 6th. And Lindov 1 for 2 today.
Had a single in the first inning, Lindov did. 1 of 5 hits for the Jayhawks. Kinney delivers, pitches over to Sydney Gray. Gray over to Bacon for the first out. We've been saying that a lot today, as that's another put out for the always reliable third baseman, Sydney Gray.
Something you brought up earlier is when I said routine play for Billy Andrews. It looks routine for Sydney Gray as well, but at the third base, the hot corner in baseball and softball just grabs that ball with ease and throws across the diamond, which is not an easy throw, and gets what seems to be a routine out for her.
Sydney Gray entered this contest 8 of 12 from the plate, with 2 homers in the series against Wisconsin, but she's translated that hot start at the plate into an even better performance here on the defensive end, as Lyric Moore sees that first pitch for a strike from Kaylin Kinney. 0 for 2 on the day, and a fielder's choice was her first out, a pop-out per second, as that pitch is in there for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Moore's done a phenomenal job. You and I have talked about her all day with her prowess behind the plate on the defensive end, but nothing going thus far for her on the offensive end, as the Jayhawks are starting to count their outs here in the top of the 6th, down 3. Pitch in there. Good job by Breadwell to keep the ball in front of her, so it's a 2-1 count.
So right now, in right field, still playing fairly deep, is Caitlin Neal, and obviously the right side of the infield for the Huskers in Bacon and Kaneda playing deep as well.
Check third, swing, safe, says first base umpire Sergio Villarreal. And so now it's a 3-1 count for Moore. Great job to hold up that bat. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised with, I feel like these fielders are a little bit too far back, in my opinion, considering the win. But who am I to question the 1,100 game winner in Rhonda Revelle as Kaylin Kinney pitches. And that is ball number 4. So Kinney handles the first batter pretty easily, but walks the next and more. And so Haley Kripe, the shortstop, will step up to bat. 0 for 2 on the day is Kripe with a fly out and a line out. She's fallen victim to the incredible glove of Sydney Gray a couple innings ago. Is now Kaylin Kinney, works from the stretch, wind up, pitch, swung on. Gray trying to get there, and it's foul, and so count goes 0-1.
Now, something that a lot of the hitters have done today to collect their hits, there's 12 hits between the two teams today. I'd say a good chunk of them have been up through the middle, but what the Huskers have done a good job of is getting themselves in position to at least get their glove on it and limit the hitter to getting to first. What Kansas needs to do, swing a little harder, barrel up the ball, and you're going to have a chance to just clear the infield.
Kinney, that pitch was about 5 feet in front of the plate. Breadwell keeps it in front of her. Moore thought about going if it got past the wickets of Breadwell. It did not. No throw back to first, and so the count's even at 1-1. You're absolutely right. Nebraska's gloves have flashed throughout the entire infield. No errors on the day for the Big Red. Pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the zone.
And what people might combat with that comment is, well, you know, runners are still getting on. Well, Kansas isn't making hard contact. So if that ball trickles through, the odds that it's a double, because the outfielders are playing so deep, they have to run in Kansas has a good chance to get extra bases.
Kinney pitches, swung on hard to left field. Diving is bland. It'll hit right in front of her. She thought about diving for it. She didn't. She did the smart move and held up. And so now Moore stands on second. And Kripe is on first with 300 hitter Campbell Bagshaw up to bat for the Jayhawks.
What did we just mention? Kripe doesn't necessarily barrel up that ball. It's kind of lofted, obviously barely in play, but it's the soft hitting style of play that Kansas is using today that's given them the little chances they've had to score.
So now it's Bagshaw up to bat with 2 runners on and 1 out. That first pitch in there, very important for Kinney. Gets ahead. So it's 0-1. Bagshaw 0 for 2 on the day, still above 300 on the season. Pitch, swung on, over to Sydney Gray, steps on 3, over to 1, stretching his bacon and gets the double play. And the Huskers are out of the inning. Sydney Gray flashing the leather again. Billy Andrews been kept really quiet today from the batter's box. That's not too often we say that about the 3-time All-Big Ten awardee and the number 42 ranked player coming into preseason here in the country, but she's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a pop-up. Both Katie Brooks and Casey Hamilton have done a good job of keeping the hot bat from Gretna off the base paths and also the speedy feet of Billy Andrews with 10 stolen bases off the base paths, but she's got an opportunity here with a 1-1 count to change all that in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Ball.
And again, we just want to reiterate that the Huskers are hoping to pick up win number 1,600 in their program's history tonight.
Be an incredible accomplishment. Rhonda Revelle has been a part of almost 75% of those wins in her over 30 seasons at Nebraska. Swung on and missed by Andrews. Billy Andrews, one of the best players in Nebraska program history, has been a big part of a massive chunk of those, well, not a massive chunk, but a decent chunk of those wins in her 4 years here. Wind up pitch from Brooks. Outside. And so we'll go full. I mean, that was a tough pitch.
And that's just experience right there.
It's a big league take. That's what that is. I mean, very impressive stuff from Andrews, who has such a good acknowledgement of the strike zone. Count full. Bottom of the 6th. No outs. Pitch. Swung on. And foul over to the berm. And so Brooks and Andrews will tango again.
I like that swing because it was low in the zone. You give your team a chance to have that pop up and force Kansas to deal with the wind.
And that wind still howling in. Got down to 20 miles an hour. It's back up to 23. Blowing directly into the infield. The pitch. Swing on. Over the head of and out of here. Billy Andrews. That thing kept carrying. My goodness. And so the Huskers add an insurance run, and it's 4-0 here at Bowlin Stadium.
And Andrews just took a hack out of that. And if you want to know the strength that Billy Andrews bats with, when batters hit the ball beyond the fence to opposite field, that says a lot. And she did it in the deepest part of the ballpark. I mean, just the quick swing like we talked about earlier, muscles that through the wind. That lands just short of the trees.
I thought that was going to get knocked down. That thing kept going and going and going over the head of Angela Price. And so now it's 4-0 Nebraska.
First run given up today by Katie Brooks.
Her 13th homer of the season, her 57th homer as a Nebraska Cornhusker. And so now her sister, Brooke Andrews, will come up to the plate in the bottom of the 6th with no outs.
And this is a chance with no outs for Brooke to take some risks.
Ball in there for a strike for Andrews.
And you talk about the importance of what could be the big insurance run for Nebraska. I think sometimes runs late in a game could get overlooked when you're winning 3-0, especially in a shutout. But it's little things like that that put just an immense amount of pressure on Kansas. It might lift a little weight off the shoulders of the Cornhusker players, but for the Jayhawks, that's another run they have to get.
I mean, a ton of pressure on Kansas, who has found it so incredibly difficult to get runs against the tandem of Kaylin, Kinney, and Emerson Cope. As Brooke finds that pitch, and now it's 1-1. Still no outs here in the 6th, with Nebraska with the ability to add on their lead. Katie Brooks came in relief for Casey Hamilton a couple innings ago. Hadn't given up any runs until that incredible swing from Billy Andrews. I still cannot believe that got out. I did not do that justice at all, as I thought that was going to land just over the head of Angela Price, who kept moving back and back and back, and all of a sudden that was over the fence, as that was a missile over the L of the softball sign, as that's hit on over to Anderson and thrown for the first out in the 6th inning.
An important out there to knock down Brooke Andrews, and now you start working into the heart of the lineup. But like you mentioned, it's tough to tell, especially because if I'm correct, Matt, that's close to the exact spot where Samantha Bland absolutely drilled the wall back in the 1st inning, and she ended up getting that double, and where she advanced to 3rd and the first run scored.
So Ava Bredwell up to bat. First pitch in there for a ball. Bredwell has done a good job, and a lot of these Nebraska Cornhuskers have done a good job of getting themselves ahead of the count into nice positions, could do some damage. They just haven't been able to do that with runners in scoring position, yet they still lead 4-0. Bounced on. There's Kripe. She gets a handle of it and throws it over for the 2nd out. Had a tough time with transfer from glove to arm, but did a good job of getting it. So 2 outs for the Jayhawks, and Samantha Bland, who's had an incredible day with a double, a single, and a walk, will come up to bat for what we will assume is the final time in this ballgame.
Well, I'll tell you, Kripe did a great job of getting her glove on that ball. I mean, it almost took another hop as she put her glove on the dirt. So good job of getting that pivotal 2nd out.
Brooks, wind-up pitch, swung on and blasted through to left field. And Samantha Bland, have yourself a day. 3 for 3 with a walk. The freshman cannot be stopped, as Sydney Gray, like we said, she came into this series red hot. 8 of 12 against Wisconsin. 2 home runs. Has been kind of extinguished, at least in the batter's box today. 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts.
But Gray has a chance, again, to add more insurance. You know, it's about what you can do in these late game situations.
She lays off that ball on the outside part of the plate for a ball. I mean, look, we talked about Billy Andrews and how she had been kept at bay, right? 0-3 heading into that at-bat, and she just launched that ball over the deepest part of the park, close to 240 feet, to get her out of that in-game slump. As that swung on by Gray, Anderson can't get there, foul ball, and so the count goes even to 1-1.
So right now with 2 outs, we're sitting at that 1-1 count. It's almost like when you're up on a 2-0 count, this is kind of the area where you're willing to take that swing to move the runner. Not as much of a pressure situation as if you're in a 1-2 or a 2-2 situation.
3rd pitch, always the most pivotal pitch in any at-bat. I mean, 1-2 and 2-1 are incredibly different situations for hitters. Brooks spikes that ball in front of Moore. Stealing was the base runner Bland, and so now she stands on 2nd with 2 outs here. I don't know, did you see that? Was that a called steal? I couldn't see that, Josh, or did she react to the spike? I don't
I thought she reacted to the spike, and Moore almost couldn't find the ball at first. She actually stood up, did a full 360, and then found the ball.
She was searching for it. It was great base running by Bland, who gets herself in a scoring position for Gray. Count moves even to 2-2.
And that ball was playing a little hide and seek, especially with it being neon.
That's a good point. Gray. Pitch count getting low. Brooks just gets it off in time inside part of the plate. And so we'll move full to 3-2.
And plate discipline has been something that Rhonda Ravel has really instilled in her players this year. You're not seeing as many unnecessary swings as you might have seen in the past.
Bland on second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Huskers up 4. Full count. Brooks winds up. Pitch swung on and grabbed by the second baseman at Sarah Rozak. And so Jayhawks gave up 1 run on an absolute bomb from Billy Andrews, but thwarts the threat of Samantha Bland as they'll head to the top of the 7th with their final chance to get 4 runs to tie the Huskers here on Big Ten Plus. Top of the 7th action here as Kaylin Kinney looks to close this one out for the Big Red, as that is a foul ball from Olivia Bruno. Bruno 0-2 today with 2 flyouts. So strike 1 is the call. Huskers up 4, and it's been a masterful performance between the duo of Emerson Cope and Kaylin Kinney today. Combined have only let up 6 hits, walked a couple, not too many strikeouts, but the defense has had their back all day, as now that's on the outside part of the plate. 1-1 is the count for Bruno. 181, 13 hits and 1 homer with 9 RBIs because Bruno have on the season, as she looks to get something going here for her side in their last inning of work if they can't get 4 or more runs. Kinney with the pitch. Check swing, and that's a strike anyway. And so Kinney favorable, 1-2.
Yeah, Bruno leaned a little too much into that one. That's where momentum carries you. Your body is moving faster than your mind.
And that was a really good pitch by Kinney as well, who loses her balance on the mound, so she's got to take a timeout. She can't really get her footing. So she'll get back in the circle and set up. Definitely not a mind game there. Just couldn't stand up properly as Kinney throws a nice slow pitch for strike 3. Oh, Kaylin Kinney freezes Bruno at the plate. My goodness. Look at this thing.
That's disgusting.
You shopping today? Nope, just looking as Bruno goes down for the first out of this 7th inning. It's a beautiful off-speed pitch.
Big K there from KK.
So, Ashlyn Anderson steps into the box. That's a high fly ball. Caitlin Neal working under it in the foul territory. She secures it for the 2nd out. And so now the Huskers will throw it around, and they're just 1 out away from one of their bigger non-conference wins of the season.
A little bit of, Kansas is right next to Nebraska, so you have a little bit of that geographical rivalry at stake. But you know what? Midweek non-conference games, I think, get overlooked. You're forced to make a quick turnaround from the weekend, and no matter what happens, you have a whole series ahead of you in the weekend. So to come in and do it against a Kansas team that's one of the top 30 teams in the nation, that says something about the Huskers. But, again, there's still 1 out to go.
So a pitch hitter coming up for the Kansas Jayhawks. It'll be number 15, Jaden Murphy, the sophomore from Surprise, Arizona. She's played in 9 games this year. Hasn't recorded a hit yet. Batting average is 0. Has had an RBI, though. In high school, Murphy was a .491 hitter with 28 home runs and 155 RBIs. She was the 2022 Offensive Player of the Year in her district in Arizona. She'll face off. She's got a batting average, of 1,000, rather, with 2 hits and 2 at-bats. So Murphy into the box. She's quickly down 0-1 to the right-hander, Kinney. Wind up. The pitch. Swung on. Over to Sydney Gray, but that's foul. And so 0-2 the count, and the Huskers are just one strike away from sending these incredibly loyal, brave, and more than likely cold Husker fans home happy.
Murphy with a big moment. I mean, when your first home run is a grand slam, you know what the pressure's like.
That's something. Kinney gets it in for strike 3. And so the Huskers come to Bowlin Stadium, 5-game win streak. They extend it to 6th and shut out the Kansas Jayhawks. Here's Kinney. Oh my goodness, pull the string again, strike 3. And so the Huskers move to 22-13 on the year.